This program is funded in part by Sprint. Sprint, together with NEXTEL. Stay connected, stay informed. And cooperation with the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and Maryland Public Television.
The government's leadership in remote sensing satellites, or picture-taking satellites, has led to creation of still another new industry, one that captures terabytes of geospatial images of Earth on a daily basis for commercial, national defense, and intelligence uses. Spy satellite-like images of the Earth are now finding their way into the fabric of our society. And what you can see through Google Earth now pales in comparison to what you will see in just a few years. BusinessNOW's Len Dybert looks at the present and future of imaging from space.
From man's earliest days, people have been mesmerized by Earth and interested in looking down on it. Today, whether from outer space or the heights of Mount Everest, there's even greater fascination in examining our planet. However, it's only been as a result of the digital revolution that scientists and analysts have begun to turn mountains of geospatial images and data into knowledge. That knowledge already is vast. It ranges from secret data acquired by U.S. spy satellites for the Pentagon's National Geospatial Intelligence Agency to information from commercial satellites for use by state and local governments, images to help battle forest fires, to make assessments of farm crops, and to assist in natural disasters like Hurricane Katrina.
Within 15 minutes of collecting an image of New Orleans, the data was here. We were able to make a product out of it and ship it to the government, who pushed it along to FEMA and other organizations, Red Cross and so on and so forth, that needed that information for emergency purposes.
GeoEye is in the business of responding to emergencies, as well as handling more routine requests for images. It starts here in the Nerve Center, the Satellite Operations Center. Michele Orme is a senior mission planner.
We create an image file, a planned imaging operation file, which is then sent up to the spacecraft, which will execute all of these images and then downlink it here to our ground station, and then we'll send the data to our data processing center, where they will create value-added products and send them to our customers. We have a greater than 98.5% availability rate or uptime for our systems. We have wonderful ground station techs on staff who think outside of the box and are able to keep our systems up and running.
The U.S. policy for commercial remote sensing was outlined in a mandate from President Bush in 2003 and again in a new national space policy released by the White House in October. The fundamental goals are to advance and protect U.S. national security and foreign policy interest. The policies call for the government to rely to the maximum extent possible on the commercial remote sensing industry, fulfilling imagery and geospatial or mapping needs for military, intelligence, foreign policy, homeland security, and civil users.
Having a strong commercial satellite industry provides more eyes in the sky for the government. It gives them redundancy, and it also gives them unclassified information. So, for instance, when the tsunami occurred, the government could take our imagery and send it around to people around the world within minutes of receiving it. In Katrina, our stuff came down, and within 20 minutes of NGA taking it down from our satellites, they were sending it out to Yahoo, Google, and Microsoft. So then it could be used by relief workers in Mississippi and Louisiana.
Matthew O'Connell is a veteran of Wall Street who joined GeoEye's predecessor, Orbital, after 9/11. GeoEye is now the world's largest commercial remote sensing satellite company. It was formed when Orbital acquired Space Imaging in January 2006. Today, GeoEye has 3 Earth imaging satellites in orbit.
We can deliver more and cheaper services to our main customer, which is the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency in the U.S., but also to our customers overseas. We've got the world's largest network of regional affiliates and regional distributors around the world, and putting together a company of this size allows us to distribute products that are more advanced, but at the same time more cost-effective for all those customers.
One distinguisher for our company is that The Icono satellite and the OrbView 3 satellite give us double eyes in space. A competitor, for example, may have one satellite. Because we have two satellites in orbit, we can see the same point on Earth multiple times over a shorter period of time.
And the best is yet to come with the launch of GeoEye 1 in the spring of 2007. This next-generation satellite will be the world's highest resolution commercial remote sensing satellite. It will have ground resolution of 0.41 meters in black and white and 1.65 meters in color. It's able to capture about 700,000 square kilometers a day in the black and white mode. That's an area about the size of Texas.
It will give people terrific resolution. It will collect a large area, and it'll also be accurate within 3 meters from space, which is, as one government official said, revolutionary.
The GeoEye 1 satellite is basically a mapping machine in orbit, and it goes over the North Pole, under the South Pole, 14 orbits a day. And it goes around the Earth at an altitude of 423 miles. It's able to discern or see objects on the ground 16 inches in size.
GeoEye 1's 0.4 meter resolution, compared with the current satellite's highest resolution of 0.6 meters, may not seem like a significant difference. Ed Jurkevics, the leading geospatial analyst and author, helps us understand the difference the new satellite will make.
If you look at it, if you have 0.8 meter versus 0.6 meter, well, the 0.6 meter has about double the resolution. And now if we reduce that down to a quarter of a meter, then we're really getting to much higher resolution entirely. It's 3 or 4 times higher resolution. One of the things that will distinguish the GeoEye 1 satellite is the fact that it's capturing imagery in color. And this color capability, I think, adds a lot of value in the commercial and the business markets, where people are accustomed to color imagery. Imagery needs to look like what they're used to experiencing on a day-to-day basis.
O'Connell says GeoEye has a great story to tell Wall Street. The company won the highly competitive $500 million NextView contract with the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, and it's the first remote sensing satellite company listed with other high-tech stocks on the NASDAQ stock exchange. O'Connell says Wall Street totally gets it.
They clearly get the fact that there is more demand, whether it's from the defense and intel world or the need to know more about our world because of natural disasters, or frankly, simply to monitor and manage our resources.
GeoEye's biggest customer, the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, sees no limits for the potential commercial uses of GeoEye 1 and the geospatial imagery it will provide.
The NextView systems truly are state-of-the-art in the satellite imaging capability, and I think the opportunity that the market exposure that the vendors are starting to see through vehicles like Google Earth and Microsoft Virtual Earth are only going to pique the interest of more and more, a greater base of users out there. The unclassified nature of the commercial imagery provides the tremendous utility for crisis relief efforts, humanitarian relief efforts, and for DoD and Intel activities as well. The improved resolution that we're hoping to see out of NextView is only one component of the overall equation. The improved resolution allows you to better discriminate or differentiate between different objects on the ground. It is an art to some extent in terms of the ability to what you can and can't see at different resolutions of imagery. However, I would offer that the higher resolution imagery that we expect to see in the half-meter class of satellites is going to enable people to get down to the area where they're imaging things the size 18 inches to 2 feet.
What we are focusing a lot of our efforts on is how to take the imagery and make it more useful for people. One of our ad slogans is turning imagery into information.
The days of cartoon maps are over, and map-accurate imagery from remote sensing satellites is in.
It's the Iranian nuclear facility at Natanz in Iran. And we were able to watch the development of this facility fenced in. This area right here actually is dirt that has covered up 2 huge underground chambers where they have their enrichment centrifuges.
Thanks to GeoEye and others, through internet search engines, people around the world do get it. They get the power of geospatial imagery. And after a Wall Street career in mergers and acquisitions, Matthew O'Connell is leading what he calls a merger that works.
Right now we are focused on satellites and satellite-derived imagery. We may expand beyond that. We don't know, but one thing we do know is that there is ever-increasing demand for this information, so we will continue to provide the highest quality geospatial information that we can, and we'll do more and more value-added services.